What has been the biggest challenge going from playing college ball just straight to pro, and what have you faced in that environment?
I was really fortunate to play at Purdue. Purdue's not the biggest.
Right.
All right, it's usually at the bottom of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
We're back to the bottom again.
Yeah,
we kind of moved up for a while and fluctuated, but
I grew up in Bloomington, so I'm a big IU fan. I'm so sorry.
I'm glad you told me that after we started the interview, and we never would have had this interview probably. Yeah.
Nope.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I was at Purdue, and I didn't realize it then, but the blessing was Leon Burnett was our defensive coordinator, and he played bump and run. That was his defense, and we had a guy by the name of Rod Woodson, who's in the Hall of Fame as a defensive back. I went up against a guy named Don Anderson, rest in peace, Donnie. He was better than Rod probably, and faster, definitely at the cornerback position. Then I had a guy named Chris Dishman that I went against, who also was an all-pro, played for the Houston Astros, and then the Houston Oilers, and then Tennessee Titans. But made Pro Bowl a few years ago. Also is a head coach now, college. What's up, Dish? Look, I'm going against pro players in college.
You're right.
And I was a walk-on, so they were the first team guys, so I would practice against them every day. So my transition, and then I had Jim Everett as my quarterback. What's up, Jimmy? I wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be here today without Jim Everett.
All right.
And I'm not talking about just as a person, but with Fan Day Nation. He's the one that made the introduction to Mike and I.
Mike and you?
Did you know that they played in high school together?
I did know that, yes. Mike told me that. That's
so
crazy.
Jim Everett was my quarterback, who's strong arm, great quarterback. So to answer your question,
yes,
it was a very simple transition for me. So for guys that played at other colleges where they played against zone a lot, or they didn't have a strong arm quarterback, I mean, Jim really prepared me for going in a lineup with John Elway, who arguably throws the ball harder, if not, as hard as anyone that's ever thrown it in the NFL. So I think that was a huge benefit for me coming, because I was used to swim techniques and getting off people holding you and all that craziness, where some of the taller guys or guys that didn't go against that in college had a rude awakening, really.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Just speaking of like switching quarterbacks and everything, how was the dynamic changing teams? Like going from the Broncos to the Colts to the Giants, just all the different dynamics, and you didn't really play that long at the Colts or the Giants. So what was that transition like? And was it a little piece of home when you went to the Colts because you were at Purdue, came back?
So crazy, wasn't it? I mean, my career went a full circle.
Yeah, we all the way around.
I started in Indiana, Purdue. I went west to Denver. Then I went east to New York, and then I came right back home, back to Indiana. It was, I always thought that I played my full career in Denver.
Okay.
And literally, it was the first year of free agency, 1992, after 92 season, 93 season, that I went to play with the Giants. And the transition again, I mean, God's always shined his face on me. The transition was simple. Why? Guess who else went to New York? Dan Reeves. So the coach that brought me into the NFL was my coach again in New York.
So it all lined up.
Same offense. I knew the offense like the back of my hand. It was, year 8 for me. It was a very, very simple transition for me.
Well, good.
And then going to Indianapolis was chaotic.
How so? I want to know.
Ted Marshall-Broder was the head coach. God bless you, Coach. I don't think I may have talked to him maybe twice the whole time I was there. But it was almost mid-season. It was Marshall Faulk's rookie year, so that was kind of fun. Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback, who's now the head coach of the Chargers and won an NCAA championship a year ago. It was an interesting time, but like you said, it was a great time of reflection of my life and where I was and how my career went a full circle from Indiana to Indiana.
Yeah, that is crazy.